500 million, the number of individuals all around the world suffering from a mental health issue without the outlet to a mental health professional. Now, to put this number into perspective, 1 million seconds is just around 12 days, but 500 million seconds is just under 16 years. But this is more than just an insanely large number. This is our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, and our loved ones suffering in silence. Now, with no time to waste, we need to act against these issues. Leaders in the field of psychology all around the world, like Atanas Kololis from the London Health Organization, warn that now more than ever, we are seeing the effects of mental health issues without the outlet to a mental health professional due to the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. And now we, as a complex society, need to work together to recognize the number of individuals suffering in silence, learn to treat these issues as we would a physical health issue, and thus break down the stigma surrounding the topics of therapy and mental health. And according to the World Health Index, around 1 billion individuals are suffering from a mental health issue, with 45 to 50% of them not currently nor ever seeing a mental health professional. That means 500 million people are struggling day after day with not being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, drastically trying to keep their head above water. 500 million people afraid to speak up due to the unfortunate stigma that surrounds mental health, scared of the judgment, the wide eyes, and the constant explanations that come with seeing a therapist. Our loved ones who would rather suffer in silence than be misunderstood and judged by those surrounding them. So this leads me to ask my first question of why. Why do we have such a negative stigma surrounding reaching out for mental health? Why do 47% of Americans believe that therapy is a sign of weakness? Now, when an athlete rolls his ankle, the first thing we do is treat the symptoms. We rest, we ice, we wrap, and we elevate the injury, adhering to a tight schedule to bring them back to full health. Why do we not adapt this same mentality when someone's struggling with anxiety or depression? Instead, people are greeted with half-hearted well wishes from people who would rather stray away from the topic due to uncomfortability. Why is it that we see the benefits in a primary care physician, even when we're in full health, but have such a hard time seeing a mental health professional, even when we're struggling mentally? One of the large reasons is the misconceptions that surround therapy and failing to see the benefits that come with seeing a mental health professional. And now here, guys, I have this bag. And I want this bag to represent our lives. And naturally, as we go through our lives, we pick things up. We have events. And some things are smaller than others, but then some things start to get huge, like mourning a loved one, experiencing a heartbreak, and etc. These are all extremely heavy topics. And before you know it, you're carrying around an extremely heavy bag that makes you tired, irritable, and hard to carry on. And one of the greatest things about therapy is it gives us a chance to open up this bag and put down some of those things we've been carrying around for too long. The benefits of receiving therapy or seeing a mental health professional are endless, and 75% of people who go through a mental health service report seeing positive results from it. It's often believed that therapy is a last-ditched effort, or it's drastic, and it's for crazy or insane people, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. The benefits of seeing a mental health professional extend far beyond the normal scope. While these programs and services are an amazing tool in helping us regulate and isolate and control our emotions, they also work to help us become physically healthy. Now, for emotional regulation, the tool of therapy is second to none. Research done by Ronald E. Riggio shows that people who receive treatments for therapy develop better interpersonal communication skills, both professionally and socially. This can lead to better conflict resolution, deeper and more meaningful connections, which ultimately will lead to a better support system and a better crisis line. But as I said before, the benefits don't stop at emotional aspects. The physical aspects can also include better sleep quality and better sleep habits, which in turn lead to improved cognitive function and mood regulation. Studies have also shown that individuals who receive mental health treatment may experience lower blood pressure, a reduced heart rate, and improved cardiovascular functioning. Chronic stress and mental health concerns are a huge factor in cardiovascular health, so addressing these issues head-on play a significant role in helping aid these issues. So this leads me back to my next question of why. Why do 500 million people choose to not reap the benefits that therapy has to offer? And one of the main reasons that 500 million people let these issues go untreated and miss out on the amazing benefits is the negative stigmas that surround mental health. The stigmas that surround seeking a professional in the mental health field are not only completely false, but also increasingly dangerous. Research has shown that individuals with mental health conditions face discrimination in the workplace, schools, healthcare systems, and even within families and communities. Around 85% of individuals with mental health problems experience some form of stigma ranging from subtle to extreme prejudice. The fear of being perceived crazy, weak, or dangerous generally delays seeking treatment, which results in worsening symptoms, ultimately making the problem at hand worse by the day. These stigmas are so large that they even have influence on societal standards, which have led to the perpetuation of discriminatory policies and practices, like limitations on insurance coverage and employment discrimination, which only deepen the cycle of the stigma. So what can we do? How can we break down these stigmas that surround mental health and seeking mental health? One of the most simple yet effective ways is to help break down the negative language barrier. For example, using the term "a person with schizophrenia" rather than "a schizophrenic" can help break down labels. Now, we all know how bad it feels to be labeled and put in a box, and this is something we can all do to help the healing process. Another strategy can be creating safe, free judgment zones that encompass mental health issues. This can be achieved with programs in communities, workplaces, and government-funded programs to create opportunities for individuals to share their experiences without the fear of being judged or having to see a one-on-one therapist. When we provide a platform for people to talk about their emotions and regulate them, we normalize the conversation around mental health and thus break down the stigma surrounding it. To break down the barriers surrounding mental health is no easy task, but we need to face these things head on. No one person can do this alone, and so we as a society need to work together to recognize the nearly 1 billion people that suffer from a mental health issue. We need to prioritize mental health like we do physical health, and by doing this, we can finally work to break down the many negative stigmas that are associated with mental health. To accomplish these goals won't be easy, but they're increasingly necessary. Imagine the strides that can be made in a world no longer in fear of judgments for the emotions and feelings that we all have. A world where individuals are no longer burdened by unnecessary emotional issues that have been carried around for too long due to the fear of judgment. A world where humanistic values are valued first will evolve and breed positive outcomes.